You guys have been asking to see my filing routine for a while, so let's chop my nails off really short and I will teach you all about how I use an e-file. What's up, nail crew? It's Nicole, your fellow nail says DIYer. We are gonna chop some nails off today, all right? So if any of you have been here and watched any of my other videos, you know that I pinched a nerve a few weeks ago, and honestly, just having my nails long has been too hard for me to do them because my hands just cannot keep up with long nails. So I thought this would be a great time to chop all my nails off really short, to be able to do a bunch of short mayonnaise, show you my e-filing routine, and some other requests that you guys have. So the first thing we want to do when we're e-filing is we want to make sure you get a dust collector out. Now, I know that's not an absolute must, but if you're going to be e-filing your nails a lot, it is such a game changer to not have all that product flying all over the place, and you definitely don't want to be breathing it in either. So if you don't have a dust collector, for sure wear a mask, something that's covering your mouth and your nose that you're not breathing all that dust in. And you can see that I have these gloves on. So they're actually UV gloves from Melody Susie, but I wear them when I e-file as well because all that product is getting on your skin. And if you're anything like me and have sensitive skin, then all that filing dust is getting all over your skin. I had contact dermatitis from e-filing a bunch of times. Like I was obsessively taking my nails off and on about 3 years ago. And ever since then, I started wearing these gloves when I file. And now I haven't had contact dermatitis, knock on wood, since then. So I know my skin is just super sensitive. This dust collector that I'm using is from Melody Susie, as is the drill. Everything that I'm using is going to be linked in the description. I always do that whether I remember to say it or not. This awesome e-file holder that I have is from SJ3 Designs. This is just all the stuff that I've accumulated over the years to really help me to make doing my nails easier. So when you're e-filing, let's talk about what bit you should use. I always use some kind of coarse safety bit. So coarse or medium. I actually don't like to go above that and do like extra coarse, or I tried a bunch of different coarse, different grits for the safety carbide bits. And if I went higher than coarse, it just did not pull my dip or builder gel off as well as I like. So once I started using a coarse bit, my dips just started coming off so much easier. My builder gel just flies off. Something that I want to make sure that you guys know is that your e-file, well, one of the many things is that your e-file should always be moving. If your e-file stops moving or you're pressing down into your nails too hard, that's when you're going to feel that burning sensation. If you ever feel heat on your nails, immediately stop what you're doing, take the e-file off. So your e-file should be running at a high enough speed that the dip or builder gel or poly gel, whatever enhancement that you're using, should be flying off your nails. And you should not have to press hard down into them either. Like I am just skimming the top of my nails and the builder gel is flying off. When I'm removing my dip or builder gel like I am here, I like to run my e-file at about 20 to 25,000 RPMs. I know that sounds scary, especially if you're just starting, but even if you're running it really low, then it's going to take you, one, it's going to take you a lot longer, and two, you're going to feel like you have to press harder down into your nails. So if you don't feel comfortable running it at that high of a speed and you're just starting out and you want to run it at like say 10,000 RPM, just know that it's going to take you way longer to remove all of your product. And not only that, you have to be really careful that you're not trying to press down hard into your nails because it's taking a lot longer to remove the product. So when I first started, I was not running it at this high of a speed, and it took me like pretty much double the time that it takes me now to remove my dip or builder gel. But doing it at that higher speed is so much easier, and I actually find that I don't cut myself using it at a higher speed because I'm just barely skimming the surface of my nails. One thing that you want to make sure that you do too when you're removing product is you want to have the little bit out from the e-file. So like the actual drill bit should not be stuck right up against the drill. When it's stuck right up against the drill, it's gonna kind of like catch and it's not going to rotate properly. I was just talking to somebody about this the other night, trying to figure out like why her dip wasn't coming off as fast as mine was. And one of the things that we figured out was she didn't have her bit out far enough. So you want to make sure there's a little gap in between the end of the bit and where the e-file actually starts. Then something else that really helps me. Now, I don't know if, I'm right-handed, so one thing that I really like to do is I actually pull the bit towards me when I'm e-filing. I found that when I push the bit away from me, I struggled to maintain control of my removal. So I always pull the bit down towards me. And again, I know that seems scary because you're pulling a bit towards your skin, but if you're using it at the right speed and doing it correct, it's going to be so much easier for you. Another thing that you definitely want to make sure that you're doing is you want to make sure that your e-file is in the right direction. When you're holding the drill bit in your right hand, e-filing on your left hand, the e-file should be in forwards. When you're holding the drill in your left hand, e-filing on your right hand, it should be in reverse. So when you're doing your own nails, you do have to switch back and forth between forwards and reverse. It just is so helpful that you're not like hitting your hand doing it in the wrong direction, because it'll kind of like do this thing where it kind of flips around your nail, and you definitely don't want that to happen. It catches and it will really, really hurt your skin if you slice it up with these. After I remove my builder gel, what I like to do is I like to go in and do any of my filing and shaping. And I actually do it by hand. I know some people can do it with an e-file. I am not that skilled with an e-file, even though I use it a ton. I still like to go in with a good old-fashioned hand file and do my shaping. So I like to get the basis of my shape down with my hand file before I go and finish all of my removal and all of my prep. This just helps me when I'm going to apply my next product that my shape is pretty much set to like where I want it to be. And when you're adding additional product on top, so especially if you're doing dip over top of builder gel, rubber base, poly gel, anything like that, dip adds bulk. You want to file your nails in skinnier, thinner than what you actually want them to be, because if you're adding dip on top, your nails are going to gain some bulk when you add that dip. Now, the other thing I do like to do during prep, since I removed an old builder gel set, is I like to take this flexible file and kind of smooth out the builder gel a little bit to make sure that I'm not leaving any like weird lumps or bumps. So since I had builder gel down underneath my Gel X extensions, I actually don't even have to do new builder gel. Since my nails are so short, I was able to keep this builder gel on the little bit that I had, but my nails were bumpy, and using this flexible file, it's like having a giant buffing block. It's just easier for me to hold because one, my hands are so huge, and two, especially like now with my pinched nerve, using a small buffing block is just not something like that I can grip onto. And really, I never liked the small buffing blocks. But these are just some of the steps that I do when I am removing an old builder gel set. Now, I did all this so that when I finished my nail prep with my e-file, that I could just go right in and do a new dip mani over this. That's the nice thing about having really short nails, is that you only need a really thin layer of builder gel down or whatever you're using down as your base. Once I finished up using this flexible file, then I'm going to jump in and finish getting some of the dip off my nails. So there was some leftover dip around the sides, and I didn't want to go crazy and like e-file down, too far into my nail. So what I did was I cleaned off my nails and then switched my bits. I went from my Pana barrel bit to a 5-in-1 shank carbide bit. And what's nice about this one is this one I have in fine. So I really can get detailed, like very gently removing any dip that was stuck on the sides of my builder gel. And I made sure that my builder gel still was smooth. Like if I accidentally, when I was e-filing some of this dip off, I just smoothed it out real carefully. You actually can use this 5-in-1 bit to remove builder gel. It doesn't remove dip well just because dip is too thick, but I have used this 5-in-1 bit in fine to file down some of my builder gel. And I did the same thing on all of my nails. I go around. I'm not showing every single nail in this video, or it would have been way too long. So I just wanted to show a couple nails like on each hand doing the different steps. This way you can see like how I hold my e-file in both my left and right hand. And I am right-handed, so sometimes I feel like I get a little bit awkward with my left hand. You definitely want to make sure you use a finger to anchor. So I'm always using either my pinky or my ring finger to hold on to the finger that I'm filing, which really, really helps me to keep my finger under control. And then once I finish with that 5-in-1, I go through with my favorite cuticle bit from a cart and go around just to make sure there's no cuticle stuck to my nail plate. I'm not like slicing way back into my skin. I'm just very gently going around and making sure nothing is stuck on my nail plate. And this way I get better retention on whatever kind of product that I'm using next. I am going to be dipping over this. So what I'll do once I finish going around my cuticles is I'll clean everything with isopropyl alcohol, and then I can jump right into my peel base and doing my next dip mani. I absolutely am loving rocking these short nails now. It has just been so much easier with my pain from my pinched nerve that, I've done a couple manis with the short nails, and I don't get like that weird numbness as much in my hands now that they're short because I can do my nails so much faster. I feel like I forgot how fast I can do my nails when they're not really long. If you're still struggling with your dip manis and you need help, make sure you check out this next video. I will give you my 12 tips for a perfect dip mani. Thanks for joining me today, nail crew.